All right, hello, welcome back, everyone, to some more Malice Reacts. Sadly, we will not be having any Twin Paranormal this week. They are away due to family issues. They do have a video up that is a recap on witch encounters they've had. So if you're interested in that, go and check out the current new video with yikes, yawns. Holy yawners. Go ahead and check out their newest video on their channel for the witch recap. For now, though, we are going to go to Paranormal Files as they visit Wisconsin. Hello, motherfuckers. And this guy already off the bat is saying that Wisconsin has the most ghosts per state, and I'm like, I could have probably told you that. The things that I've encountered and Matt has told me about, and Matt has told me that his family has encountered, is beyond the pale. There's stuff that's like 40 years old that we still have zero explanation for. I'm pretty sure if you were to ever make a concentrated place where people will learn to be ghost hunters, or at least ghost immune, it'd be Wisconsin, because there's just so much shit around here. People just going and start going, meh, that's a ghost again, and just keep walking like it's the normal Tuesday. So without any further ado, I guess, here's our little introduction. We might be skipping some of it. Goodness, holy moly, hopefully that stops. Paranormal Files visiting Wisconsin. They're visiting a place called the Clown House. Terrifying paranormal activity on camera. Let's go.
Wisconsin has the most ghosts per square mile. It's one of the most haunted states.
It's a building steeped in history that is known for its many uses in Baraboo's past.
Would you consider this
I'm aware of
location to be
Baraboo.
haunted?
Yes,
You think so?
very much so.
The building is haunted.
Many of the kids that we've dealt with said, oh, I just broke in to see the ghost.
One big thing that happens is you see stuff in the mirrors, and it's absolutely terrifying. Every time we have mediums or psychics in here, they pick up on this gentleman that is upset, that is hanging out here on the landing. The bathroom has the original bathtub. That's where Al Ringling passed away. He's still here. This room is probably the most active room in the house. You have now arrived.
What? Maid? Who are we talking to?
It's actually... Get back.
So when did you guys visit? I don't see a lot
Tonight
of snow.
on the Paranormal Files, we're in Baraboo, Wisconsin, inside of the house once owned by a circus master. Welcome to the Al Ringling Mansion.
I keep looking for love, yeah, where the mangroves grew, where the cottonmouth smiles back at me.
Ringling was one of the Ringling brothers, who founded one of
Yes.
America's most renowned traveling circuses. He lived inside of this house, every single one of his brothers partied inside of this house, and eventually Al died right here in this very home.
There's the cry of the band, there's the cry of the band.
We take a step back through time, teach you about the history of this famous circus, and investigate this notorious opulent mansion for paranormal activity. I'm Colin Brown. Thank you to everybody for joining us this evening, and you're watching The Paranormal Files.
Good evening. My name
They're
is
not
Joe
coming out of their
Colosa,
skin
and we're
yet.
here at the Al Ringling Mansion and Brewery in Baraboo, Wisconsin.
brewery!
Construction began on this mansion in 1905, completed in 1906, took 18 months to build, and it cost the Ringlings $100,000. Today that doesn't seem like a lot of money, but back then your average house cost about $2,000. They could have built 50 homes with what they spent with this one house. The house is clad in Lake Superior sandstone, which is no longer quarried. It's a steel framed house, it's very strong, and it has 25 rooms, including 10 bedrooms, 12 bathrooms, 14 original chandeliers.
Steel framed and made out of stone that's no longer quarried. Whew. Good luck fixing some of that stuff up if it ever goes down.
7 fireplaces, and 67 original leaded glass windows. The house was built for Al Ringling, the eldest of the 7 Ringling brothers, and his wife Lou, and they moved in December 1906, living here until January 1916. Sadly, Al Ringling passed away on January 1st, 1916. He was 63 years old. His wife Lou moved out of the house almost immediately after, we think simply because of the fact that they had no children. She would have been living in this large home by herself. Originally, the mansion was about 12,000 square feet. Today, with the addition, it's about 20,000 square feet. Now, in January, she moved out. She moved into a wooden frame house that was right next door, a house that was already also owned by the Ringlings. And then this mansion was given back to the surviving Ringling brothers. They immediately gave it to their one sister, Ida. Ida moved in the spring of 1916 with her husband and 3 children, living here until the fall of 1927. That fall, Ida Ringling was invited to move to Sarasota, Florida, to live closer to the then last surviving brother, John. She took him up on his offer, moved to Sarasota, never came back to Baraboo again. Now, she still owned the mansion for 9 additional years, but during that time, no one lived here, not even a caretaker. As you can imagine, neighborhood kids found their way into the house, did damage, and so on. Fortunately, in 1936, the Baraboo Elks were looking for a new lodge. They were able to purchase this mansion for $6,000. Now, the Elks owned the mansion the longest so far, about 78 years. They had upwards of 3,500 members, and they say the place was rocking 24/7. They owned it until July 1st, 2013. That's when myself, again, my name is Joe Colosa, Carmen Vera Torres, and Donald Horowitz, the 3 of us purchased this house, and we saved it at the 11th hour because there was some discussion of tearing the house down and putting up a drugstore. Fortunately, we were able, with the help of the city of Baraboo, to put a stop to that. We hope you enjoy your tour this evening. How's that?
That would be so sad if there's a drugstore here.
Yeah, Walgreens. Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Not even a CVS.
Bloody hell.
So what we'll do now is I'll carry
Just
through and
spit
I'll
on
point out
myself.
some stuff in the
Walgreens there.
rooms for you. Some
Bloody hell.
historical
Piss off,
stuff.
Walgreens.
And then kind of talk about like any things that have happened in the house. All right, so the room that we're in here is the ladies' parlor. It's Louis XVI in design. The ceiling is all hand painted. And then there are 5 gold leaf chairs in the room. Now, not one of them have their original upholstery, but these are Mrs. Ringling's original parlor chairs. What's really interesting about them is they were missing from the mansion for 98 years. You see, it took us 2 years to negotiate to buy the mansion, and during that time, we became very friendly with the Ringling family. One day out of the blue, they said, "Hey Joe, we have our Aunt Lou's parlor furniture. Would you like to borrow it?" Of course we would. So since then, the Ringling family has very kindly loaned us or donated well over 2,000 artifacts. Almost everything that's in the house belonged to one of the 7 Ringling brothers or their sister. So for instance, the statues on the mantle, the mirror that's here, even most of the hardware for the fireplaces, and even the piano, which is an 1866 square grand, all has a history of belonging to the Ringlings. Now, some of the goings-on in here over the years as far as paranormal activity, sometimes we found the furniture moved around overnight, nobody's here. We come back the next day and the chairs are all pulled out, sometimes knocked over. And then sometimes we also hear piano music playing on the piano. It will echo through the house. Every time we come here to see who's here, there's nobody here. So.
That's a crazy piano.
Yeah, it's called the Square Grand today. There aren't too many of them around anymore. So piano tuners don't like it because the tuning is in the back.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to mess with the keys and you got to reach all the way back. We actually had a wedding here several years ago now, and they asked if they could use the piano, and I said, sure. Is it in tune? I said, no. And they said, could we send a piano tuner? I said, sure. And that guy had some colorful language that day, let me tell you. He was not digging it. So, well, we'll continue now, and we'll head across the way to the library. So when we first moved into the mansion, well, let me back up. Now, we live up on the 3rd floor. There's an apartment up there. When we moved in, that was storage space. It wasn't really an attic because there's an attic above that 3rd floor. And that was actually one of the most haunted parts of the house. And when I left the Ringling Brothers Circus, I was here alone. My wife at the time, Carmen, had to finish her contract with the circus, so I came here early and started working on the mansion. I was moving things out of the house that the Elks had added over the years and trying to do, I call archaeology, pulling things back to the original stuff. And I was sleeping in the servants' quarters. And one night, late at night, I'm laying in bed, I'm reading a book, and all of a sudden it felt like somebody walked into the end of the bed by my feet, and it moved a little bit. And I have an older sister and her husband in Connecticut that have done paranormal investigating like you guys for years. They don't do it anymore. And one thing my sister told me, if you ever run into a spirit and they're making you feel uncomfortable, talk to them. So I laid my book down and I said, okay, listen. We're here now, I live here now, and I work all day long on your house. When I come up here at night, this is my sanctuary. I need to sleep. Please don't scare me. You want to have parties, you want to hang out in the rest of the house all night long, have a ball. Just please leave me alone wherever I'm staying. And I'm telling you, knock on wood, ever since we've said that, because I know you're listening, they've been very kind to us. Case in point, the third floor was very haunted before we moved up there. Now I live up there. It's quiet as a mouse. Thank you. I appreciate that. Not because I'm afraid. I need to sleep. So, and I appreciate that.
Right,
so
exactly.
That's my story of speaking to them. So.
Mikasa Sukasa. Scratch my back, I scratch yours.
I just thought of.
Don't mess with me in the middle of the night, and we can get stuff done tomorrow, and you don't have to worry about the place falling apart on you. You have the whole rest of the area to do whatever shenanigans you want.
And when we first moved
and you can talk to other people when they visit.
We used to park our cars out there. That was our driveway. And one evening we came back about 7, 8 o'clock at night. We had gone shopping at Walmart, and my wife at the time went ahead of me with bags. And all of a sudden she came running back without the bags, and she was hanging out with me by the minivan, and I'm like, everything okay? She's like, yeah, everything's fine, it's okay. I'm just gonna help you with more stuff. I said, okay, because I thought she was gonna keep going. And we come into the house, her bags were left at the door, she didn't bring them in. Back then we didn't have the lace hanging on the door there with the glasses so you could see straight in. And she said that when she went into the vestibule and went to go open up the next door, Al Ringling, she believes it was, in a black suit, high white collar, mustache, was standing here looking into the mirror. When she went to mess with the door, he looked at her and then very quickly walked in this direction and went away. And it startled her. So, yeah. So this was Al Ringling's library and office. All of the wood that's in here is mahogany, and all of Al Ringling's bookcases have leaded glass doors, and they're all still here for the most part. Again, quite remarkable for a house that might have been vandalized during the late 20s and the early 30s. One of the first things I like to talk about is this portrait. The original was taken in 1895 in a photo studio almost across the street from the mansion in this direction, downtown Baraboo. And as you could see, the Ringlings were doing pretty well with the circus at that point. And all 7 Ringling brothers, their mom, their dad, and sister Ida are in this photograph. Al Ringling, whose home you're in, is standing in the back left corner. And I could also point out the rest of the family, which might be, good for you to have.
He looks like the shortest of the brothers.
He was, yeah, and the oldest, yep. So this is John Ringling. That's Al Ringling again. This is Alf T. Ringling. That is Gus Ringling, Charles Ringling, Otto Ringling, Henry Ringling. This is Salome Ringling, Papa Ringling, Mama Ringling. August and Salome.
Otto looks like quite the character.
Yeah, for
his
sure.
expression, right?
He was the money man and the businessman behind the whole operation. So they all played their part. It was all handshake agreement with the circus. They used to have arguments, and they were famous for slamming their fist down on the table in meetings. Probably took place here sometimes, at German descent. But once they agreed upon something, it was never changed. Once they committed to something, they stuck with it, even if some of the brothers didn't agree with it. So, now some of the artifacts that are in this room, the roll-top desk and chair belong to Charles Ringling. This chair is original to the house. And then on the table, we have the original blueprints. These came with the house. What's really great about these is these are called the finish blueprints. So not only do we have every single elevation of every exterior wall, every single floor, but we have every single elevation of every single wall and every single room in these blueprints.
That's super.
So if I want to know what any one of these walls in this room looked like originally, we can find it in here. And as we restored the building, that's helped us out a great deal. So, telescope in the corner is on loan from the Ringling family. It's from the 1700s. We're told by the Ringling family that their grandfather on their mom's side was a navigator for Napoleon Bonaparte. And they say on occasion that Napoleon himself used that telescope. I don't know if it's true, but it's a good story.
Nice family heirloom, yeah.
And then the painting that's here, the giant painting, that's Daniel in the Lion's Den. It's one of 3 paintings that came with the house that belonged to the Ringlings. One of the first things we did when we purchased the property was to take the paintings to Chicago and have them fully restored. And this is the result. It's Daniel in the Lion's Den, and it was our conservator's opinion, because there was no signature, that maybe it was a private commission. Lo and behold, about a year after the painting came back, we got the engraving sent to us by the Ringling family that's underneath the painting, and it's from the 1890s, and it matches the painting almost perfectly.
It's funny, I only
There you
thought
go.
there were 2 Ringling brothers.
7 of them. And a lot of times, another thing that's worth noting too is you'll notice there's pictures of 5 of them there. When you see the old circus posters, you'll see 5 brothers, not 7. The reason for that is when they started the Ringling Brothers Circus, there were 5 partners. There were 2 brothers that were not originally part of it. So one brother stayed behind to help in their dad's harness shop, and then the other brother was simply too young. He was only about 12 years old. But eventually they ended up working for the 5, and then one of the 2 brothers even became a partner further on in the circus.
There you are.
Ida Ringling, ironically enough, is the one that wound up with it when all the brothers passed away. When John Ringling passed away in 1936, she wound up with a majority share of it. And then it was her sons, John Ringling North and Henry Ringling North, that carried the torch after the last brother died. If you ever saw the old movie, The Greatest Show on Earth, with Charlton Heston in it, John Ringling North is in the movie. He grew up in this house, and he was one of Ida's sons. So, yeah, a lot of great history.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. 2 Ringling brothers? Maybe that's where I got that.
Could be, yeah, maybe, yeah. You never know.
Yeah, the later 2.
No, I don't think you're good. It's a pretty interesting history. Another thing I'd love to touch on while we're in here, so what led me to this is I'm 4th generation in the circus in my family, born and raised in New Britain, Connecticut. When I was about 8 years old, my grandfather was on the board of directors at the Ringling Museum in Sarasota, Florida, and I used to run around the Ringling Museum down there like I owned the place when I was a kid. And I already had the bug with the circus. I was interested in the circus, but I started to get very interested in the Ringlings and in their private lives. You know, the fact they were yachtsmen, fly fishermen, they love steak. I mean, John Ringling used to stay up all night. There's all kinds of quirky things that I've learned about them over the years. And I started to collect artifacts that were theirs. And when I was ready to retire from the circus, I was looking for something to do that still involved the circus. Enter the Al Ringling Mansion. So, and that's why we wound up here. And what's really neat is one of my friends was chasing the circus train one day when we were rolling through the countryside when I was on the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus for 14 years. That's the last thing I did in the circus. And I gave him a wave as we were riding through the countryside. So, and now the circus train's gone. The circus train was a mile long, and it carried about 400 people, elephants, lions, tigers, horses, and all the equipment to put the show on. So,
and you did that.
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
were on the train.
Yeah, I was with the circus for 14 years. Yeah, so.
What'd you do?
I started out in concessions. I was actually just a stockman in concessions, and then I worked my way up through concessions, and then I became assistant train master, and then the last 3 years I was there, I was the train master. And ran the train for 3 years. Yeah. Wow. It's the greatest time of my life. Yeah, it was great. I miss it every day. Sometimes people ask me about the train, and sometimes I don't want to talk about the train, and I think they think sometimes it was a bad experience, but it was a really good experience.
You
It's
seem like
just-
too young.
It's hard to talk about.
You know,
I'll be
I don't-
56 years old next
Still,
month.
I didn't
Yeah.
think the train would be around, you know.
You know what's incredible is they started moving by rail in 1890, and they pretty much moved by rail until 2017. They made,
That
it,
is
a,
crazy.
made it a long time. Yep. Yeah, there was a stint in the late 50s where most of the circus train was off the road for 3 years. They made a big change in 1956 when they went from showing in the Big Top going into arenas. And the first 3 years they did that, they only rented what they call Pennsylvania baggage cars to move the horses and the elephants. And the rest of the circus moved by truck. But then they found out after moving by truck for a couple of years that it's more efficient and better to move the circus by train. So in 1960, even though they were in arenas, they came out with a train again and moved it until 2017. And in 1969, they opened up a second unit. So from 1969 till 2017, there was not one but two Ringling Brothers circuses that each moved on a mile-long train.
Wow.
Yeah, we used to pass each other,
That'd be cool to
crossing
see
the
that
country
go
sometimes.
across you.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Sometimes the train master was a good friend of mine on the other unit, and sometimes if we were going to pass each other, you know, we would have this bet. Whoever went in the siding, which we called the hole, had to buy a steak dinner for the other train master the next time we got together.
Oh, yeah.
So we're in the Carolinas, and me and my friend are going to pass each other the next day with the two circuses. And he calls me up, and he's like, "How's it going?" I said, "Good, we're loading up." He says, "Yeah, we are too." He says, "Who do you think's going in the hole tomorrow?" And I said, "Oh, it's going to be you." And he goes, "How do you know that?" I said, "I had lunch with the dispatcher today." You son of a gun!
That's funny.
It was a really good ribeye.
Nice.
That's right. So one time I was giving, a daytime tour, historic tour through the house, and you could see the mirror there, and in the mirror you could see back into the foyer right here. And I was talking to a lady that was here, and like even here, I'm not always staring at the camera, I'm staring off into the room. And I was looking towards the mirror talking about the room, and I noticed a gentleman go out the door going in this direction, black suit, white collar, nice mustache. Pretty sure it was Al Ringling. No noise whatsoever, just quietly, didn't touch the doors, no noise, just went out. And I looked over at the lady, and she was staring at the mirror, and she was like, and I'm like, "You okay?" She goes, "Did you just see what I saw?" And I said, "What'd you see?" And she described the same thing. And I said, "I'm pretty sure it was probably one of the Ringling Brothers heading out the door." And we saw it plain as day in the mirror. And that's one thing that's happened in this house is I've never really seen them straight on, the spirits in the house. Peripheral vision, you see a dress going around a corner, or sometimes the grand staircase, you might see something going up the stairs. You look straight on, there's nothing there, but you know you saw something. But one big thing that happens is you see stuff in the mirrors. We've picked them, all of us, over certain periods of time, have picked them up in the mirrors. And you see them quite clearly in the mirrors too. Another thing that happens here is that rocking chair will rock by itself sometimes too. And that happens with quite a few of the rocking chairs throughout the house. And what's really neat too is sometimes if you catch the rocking chair rocking, a rocking chair, if somebody bumps into it or they get up out of the chair, it's going to very slowly stop. Okay? There's been a few times where we go up the stairs, go past Al Ringling's bedroom. I look back and the chair's rocking, and when I go to look back, it's like rocking, and it'll go like that. It'll just stop. Like, oh, I've been caught. And it's like,
don't
and
even
that's
bother
funny
you,
when
Al.
that happens. It's only
Carry
happened a
on.
couple times.
Thank you.
It's like, carry on, you're okay. So that's about it, about what's happening here. So now we're coming through the foyer. Got a grandfather clock that belonged to Alf T. Ringling. And then we're going to head into the dining room.
Our coats lined up like that.
Perfect. Yeah, including mine. I'm part of the gang now. I like all the batteries you got.
Oh, yeah.
You better watch it though. You lay those on the table like that. That's an offering for spirits, you know.
Oh.
They're gonna suck those batteries dry. Yeah.
Oh, we know.
So, dining room, in our opinion, when the Ringlings lived here, this was actually the most opulent room that was in the house. Unfortunately, about 1948, the Elks decided to make the room into a bar. When they did, they took out this 8 by 8 foot hutch. They took out the 17-foot long buffet, and they took out the fireplace. Those 3 pieces, believe it or not, are a replica. So, and they even made the units right down to using, you know, old growth quartered sawn oak. And even you'll see the leaded glass matches the leaded glass in that cabinet, that's all original. So, ceiling is 24 karat gold leaf. Ringlings dined under gold. And then Tiffany windows, much prettier during the day, the Tiffany windows. This room, I'm trying to think. This room, I don't recall much happening, unfortunately. This is a pretty quiet room, paranormal-wise. So, and it's kind of funny because every time we have paranormal groups come in, this is kind of like the central station. So maybe that's why. So,
Is this caramel glass?
I think it is. Yeah. This is a Tiffany chandelier too. That's one of the things that drew us to the house. I was looking for a Ringling house, you know, obviously to share the story, to display the stuff I was collecting. I've collected a lot more, a lot of it thanks to the Ringling family. They've been very kind to us. The thing that really drew us to the house was how much stuff was intact. So, you know, the Elks made a few drastic changes here. The dining room was one of the biggest ones. And that room, by the way, the room we were just in, we've invested about $50,000 in that room so far, so to restore it. So, but overall, the Elks did a very nice job. And I mean, honestly, if they didn't wind up with the place in 1936, I don't think it would still be standing. So, we're very fortunate.
Not sure where it would be at this point.
Is the billiards room. This was Al's man cave. We call it our Hall of History. And we have a billiards table here. It's not Al Ringling's. We're hoping someday to find his. But in the meantime, the Ringling family very kindly loaned us Brother Henry's table. And we're told that all the Ringling brothers played at this table. It's from the 1890s. You'll notice that there are no pockets, so you can't play pocket pool. It's a billiards table, but the Ringling's favorite game was called snooker. And you would have played with these 3 balls. So, and then the light that shines down on it again, that is a Tiffany, original to the house. Further up, you have those 4 plain lights. Their job is to light up the mural that surrounds this room. The mural is a painting on canvas. It's of the Dutch countryside. As you look around the room, you'll notice that not one scene repeats. It is all one scene. It's basically a panoramic. And we're so fortunate that it did not get painted over or torn down.
That's original?
It's original, yeah.
So cool. Wow.
Paranormal-wise, this room can be very active. We used to do Titanic reenactment dinners every year. We may do them again at some point. It was a lot of fun. We didn't even know it at the time, but we were doing the biggest Titanic reenactment dinner ever done in the world here at the mansion. We had 30 actors. We had about 150 guests. We had a 4-string quartet. It was an 8-course meal. And we really did it up nice. And what I'm leading into is the actors were hanging out in here, and we had one of the ladies that was hanging out in here, and she was all dressed up in 1912 clothing, standing here facing this way, and she got goosed. And we didn't know what happened at first because all of a sudden we heard her kind of go, "Oh!" And she went flying out, didn't say anything to anybody, went outside, came back about 10 minutes later, and we're like, what happened? What happened? And she said, I got pinched, it was from Ireland, I got pinched in my butt, and there was nobody there. So, yeah, so.
One of the brothers is being a naughty boy.
We've had people get their caps knocked off their head. We've had people feel somebody touching their shoulder or laying their hand on their back. We've had some groups come through. Not paranormal, actually. We do a haunted tour in the evenings too. We let people, take pictures, try to catch orbs, that sort of stuff. And we've picked up many times in this corner, like kind of an image of a figure in that corner. Now, Al Ringling, when he died on January 1st, 1916, the story that's told most of the time is sadly he passed away upstairs in his bathtub up in his bedroom. But we were also heard stories where in the end, this was his bedroom and he was staying down here. So we're not sure for sure which space it was. So, obviously worth looking at both. So this room is full of Ringling Circus and family artifacts.
Did you hear a whistle just now?
Yeah,
Not only is there Ringling stuff here, but we also have some Barnum stuff. If you saw The Greatest Showman, you'll see some china in this cabinet that's got PTB on it, Phineas Taylor Barnum. And then you've all, I'm sure, heard of Tom Thumb. This is a chair that belonged to Tom Thumb.
Oh, sick.
And then this would have been in Barnum's home in Connecticut. And he had no sons, he had daughters, but he had a favorite nephew that he was pretty proud of. So the nephew posed for a drawing with his two daughters, or two of his daughters. So there's a vest up there that belonged to Henry Ringling, statue that belonged to P.T. Barnum. All the Ringling brothers opened up their first circus actually in McGregor, Iowa in the 1870s and mid-1870s. And they got a sewing box from Mama Ringling, and Papa Ringling covered it with leather, and he dyed the leather bright red, and then he made a tray for the brothers on the inside of this box that was a wooden tray, and if you look straight down on it, if you can imagine looking down on a big top or an arena, all the little boxes went around the edge, and then there was a big open space in the middle like where the ring would go. So what they would do is they would have their tickets around the edge, and then the pennies they collected, or back then they would collect pins, which was even smaller than a penny. They would throw all their money into the middle. So with this box, that was really the first money that the Ringlings ever collected for running a circus. And that box is right here. We have it. And what's really neat about it is it still has the key in it to lock it. And Papa Ringling, he did harness work and carriage work. And his rivets or nails, the brass rivets and nails that he used in his work, had a cursive R in it for Ringling. This piece on the top latch, the rivets on either side where the hinge is, it has that cursive R in it from Papa Ringling. And what's also neat is when you open the box up on the inside of the lid, it's still like bright red, how it used to all be. Yeah.
That's so cool.
You need the Antique Roadshow to show up and just...
Yeah.
How much
Yeah,
do
the
you
place
think
has
this
a lot
is
of
worth,
history
you know?
here, yeah.
Too.
And what's crazy is, just like any other museum, we only have a fraction of it on display, and most of it's in storage. So here's a picture, it's a copy of a picture. But what's really neat is it's up outside on the porch out here where you guys are going in and out, where you parked. And there is Lou Ringling right there. And they had a foster daughter that lived with them for a while. And then this is 3 of Lou Ringling's sisters, and then one of her nieces. And Lou Ringling was into Japanese attire, Japanese statues and art, and tea parties, and they were having a Japanese tea party that day. Oh, we should talk about this. This chair, so all the Ringling brothers were Freemasons. When Al reached the 32nd degree of the Scottish Rite, he was given this chair. The chair actually stayed with the mansion through the years, even when the Elks were here. And we wound up with about a dozen Ringling artifacts when we purchased the house, including the chair. We had research done on it, and we learned a couple interesting things. One, because of the design of the chair, it was made in Scotland. And 2, they did carbon dating on the wood and the glue. The chair dates back to the 15th century. Just about 600 years old. And it's an interesting chair because if a man, many guys have sat in it. If you guys want to try it out tonight, feel free. Just, try it. I think one side here will untie gently. But men tend to feel empowerment sitting in it. Whereas if a woman sits in it, a lot of times a woman will feel like she's being pushed out of the chair, like you're not comfortable in the chair. You'll feel anxiety, and you may even get sick. So, and there's been some women that have tried it and they've been perfectly fine. So maybe experiment with that tonight. Feel free. So, and it's old, so just be gentle with it. So
That's such an interesting looking chair. That face is
well, they say that's the Greek god Pan, and you're supposed to gift him. So that's why we have the dollars laying in there right now. So hopefully he's helping us. So if you guys are ready, we'll head upstairs. Yeah. Does he come up before?
Hopefully things being haven.
This is the landing. Through the leaded glass there is the conservatory. The light switch is right here if you guys want to go out there later. Let me take a quick peek out here. It's going to be chilly out here this time of year. But it's quite a beautiful space. Summertime, it's full of plants. It's on the south side of the house, so it's very sunny.
Right.
We have B&B guests here. Quite often we'll find them sitting in there in the morning drinking coffee. So, yeah, we're working on having new storms made for the house. So once they go on, and then there's a way to set up heat in there, then we'll be able to leave it open. We could even leave the plants out there year round. But we're not ready yet. So now here in the landing, this chandelier and that window are both Tiffany's. And then the other two Ringling paintings we wound up with are right here that came with the house. The small one depicts the Peshtigo fire that took place the same day as the Great Chicago Fire. That belonged to Al Ringling, and it has no artist signature. And then the large painting depicts a scene from the German opera Faust, done by an artist named Emil Bjorn. He was Norwegian, based out of Chicago, and this painting belonged at one time to Al's brother, Alf T. Ringling. Wound up here, we believe, in the 1930s. And it's been there the whole time, except for when it went to Chicago for conservation. It was gone about a year. Otherwise, it's always been here since the 30s. Oh, and also, very important, I could do it from here.
For a year to get fixed.
The landing here, there's a story. We feel a lot of the goings on, the spiritual goings on in the house, may be the Ringlings because of the history here. But we've also got some stuff that we believe is elk related also, because it was an Elks Lodge for almost 80 years. And the room that's up here, the green room we're going to go to shortly, they used to have a boardroom table up there, and they used to have poker games up there, and the Elks were coming up the stairs one night, and one of the Elk members sadly started to get chest pains here on the landing, and he sadly passed away on the landing. And what's interesting is every time we have mediums or psychics in here, we don't say anything to them, and they pick up on this gentleman that is upset, that is hanging out here on the landing, and we believe it's him. And one thing that's very interesting is after midnight, when it gets really late, you can hear men's, like what would be a men's heavy footsteps going up and down these stairs. So watch for that tonight. And it's pretty loud. Like that. You'll hear it. And it can't be creaking in the house. It sounds just like steps. So we'll head into Mr. Ringling's bedroom next. So this is one of our two bed and breakfast rooms. So that we rent out quite often. If people want to stay at the house, they can stay here or in Mrs. Ringling's bedroom. Al Ringling's portrait is there above the fireplace. Al didn't lay in bed and look at himself. We moved it up here years ago. We're doing ongoing work down in the foyer. So until that work is complete, these pictures are safer up here. So feel free to check out the bathroom. The bathroom has the original bathtub, which we're told, sadly, that's where Al Ringling passed away, quite possibly. So. Oh man, that's a nice bathtub. Isn't that something?
So what was Al like in life?
They say he was a very kind person. He cared very much for the circus, obviously. He was, when he traveled with the Ringling Circus, he was the last one to leave the lot every day. So every city they set up, he would be the last one to leave to make sure the lot was clean.
The boss that cared to make sure everything was clean and tidy before he went.
He was very good to Baraboo. He built the Al Ringling Theater here in town, and it was built for Baraboo. He did that in 1915, and today it's still standing. They just restored it a few years ago, and it's they call it America's prettiest playhouse. It is absolutely beautiful inside, literally right across the street. And what makes this so unique is where in the country do you have the Man's Theater and then his home right across the street. And what was really neat is, not neat, I guess wouldn't be the word I should use. It's probably sad. I'm just gonna turn this light up a little bit. You'll see the rocking chair there and how it's pointed out the window. So in 1915, Al Ringling was very ill. They were building the theater, and he got to a point where he was stuck up here in this room a lot of the time. And he would sit in that rocking chair and watch the construction on the theater outside there. And this is a chair that quite often we find rocking. And you'll also see the lace curtains. A lot of times we'll find the lace curtains pulled back and stuck, like somebody's looking out the window, and everybody says nobody's doing it, which is interesting. So Al Ringling gets picked up quite often in this room, and a lot of times he's hanging out here in this closet. So not sure why. Al Ringling, this was his bedroom. Through the closets is Mrs. Ringling's bedroom. They didn't, probably didn't sleep separately, but back in the day, the wealthy, one of the big things they did is they used to change clothes quite often every day. And Al Ringling would have had a valet, Lou Ringling would have had a maid, and because of that, they had separate dressing rooms. Otherwise, I'm sure they would have stayed in one room or the other. So if you guys are ready, we'll head across the way. These are trunks that belong to the Ringlings. And this is Lou Ringling's bedroom. This room is probably the most active room in the house. You have now arrived to where a lot of the action happens. And we believe it's Lou Ringling herself. And what's really neat about this room is there's her portrait. And she looks quite aristocratic there. But in the early days, she was a snake charmer.
Oh.
Ooh, I've seen this picture.
Isn't that something? That's Lou. And her fireplace is quite interesting too. Take a look down there. It's got a little lion head cast into
Hello,
the
Miss
iron.
Lou.
That's super cool. Bedroom set that's in here is Mrs. Ringling's original bedroom set, also missing from the mansion for about 100 years, just like the gold furniture down in the parlor. We didn't find it. It found us. We were just purchased the property. We were doing restoration. A lady reads the local news that used to live in Reedsburg. She's now in San Francisco. Her name is Barbara Cedarblade, very nice lady. She had the set in her family since the 1940s. She contacted us and she sent it and donated it, which was very kind
Wow.
of her.
Very nice.
And it was custom made for the house, so it's a one-of-a-kind set. And then the bathroom that's there is pretty much a duplicate of, similar to Al's. And then tell you a great story. So when the bedroom set came back, it was gone from the mansion for a long time, like we talked about a moment ago. So it would have left here in 1916, came back about 2015 or 16. And my partner Don was out visiting from New York, and we gave him the honor of sleeping in the bed in Lou's room for the first time. And we were all pretty excited about that. We were kidding him that maybe Lou Ringling was going to kick him out, or we didn't know what was going to happen. Next day, Don, how did it go? Nothing. It was quiet. Didn't want to talk about it. That was it. Nothing. Okay. A year later, he comes back to visit. We're sitting in the dining room having a couple of beers one evening. And he says, remember how I told you a year ago that nothing happened that night? I slept in Lou's room. And I said, yeah. He goes, something did happen. I just was not ready to talk about it. Now I am. And I said, what happened? He said, I was laying in bed, laying on my side, facing towards the bathroom. And he said a lady came out. You could see through her. It was dark, but you could see in the room. And she was wearing Victorian clothing. And he said, I believe it was Lou Ringling, but I couldn't see enough to make sure it was her. And he said, she just stopped and stared at me in the bed. And I said, whoa. And I said, how long did this go on for? And he said, maybe 10, 15, 20 seconds. And I said, what did you do? And he said, I rolled over. And I'm like, whoa, I would never turn my back on a spirit. So he rolled over and he said he faded off to sleep, and that was it. So we've had people stay in the room. They leave jewelry on her furniture. And we've had many people tell us in the middle of the night they could hear the jewelry like jingling around a little bit, like she's looking at it, messing with it. We've picked up some oddball stuff in this mirror. where it looks like a hooded figure that's in here, but not something evil. It has light in it, but it looks like a hooded figure, like this in this mirror. So hopefully tonight you might be able to pick something up like that with this mirror. Many people have sensed Lou Ringling, many paranormal groups coming through. If you're using communication devices, she's going to tell you to get off her bed if you're sitting on her bed. She's going to say, get off the bed. So be prepared for that. So another friend stayed overnight in this room, and door was shut. She was visiting from Germany, and in the middle of the night, she was almost asleep. The door opened and then slammed shut. Scared her so badly. She said it took her about an hour to calm down from that. And she said, I was just fading off to sleep, laying in the bed, when she felt somebody gently stroking her hair. Like, it's going to be okay. Go to sleep, it's okay. So that was quite unusual. So.
Say so.
Interesting.
And how did she die?
Lou Ringling made it to her 80s. She was 81 years old. She lived a long time, and she just died an old lady. So
Not here.
she lived not here. No, probably about, I think where she lives, about 2 blocks away. This is the Rose Room. During Al and Lou's time, it was meant to be a nursery, but sadly, the Ringlings had 3 miscarriages. After the 3rd miscarriage, they decided to give up on trying to have children. It would have become a guest room. And then during the time when Al Ringling's sister Ida lived here, one of her children would have stayed in this room. What's interesting about this room, I don't know if you'll notice, but there's a toy truck, there's animals, there's a stuffed teddy bear. We've been told many times that there are children that occupy this room, spirits. We've actually had a contractor that stayed here 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, and he only spent one night. He was a contractor that came from about 2 hours away. He was a friend of mine. And I said, you could sleep in the Rose Room. One night, that was it. He was in a hotel the next day for the rest of the week. And I said, what happened? And he said, it felt like the bed was moving, like somebody was jumping up and down on the bed. We told him about the kids, so it wouldn't have been a surprise to him. He just didn't believe it. After the next day, he believed it. And they were messing with his wallet on the nightstand, and he felt like they were jumping up and down on this stuff. And what we could collaborate with that is we've used the digital cameras where you pick up the stick figures and the energy, and that's what the kids will do. They'll jump up on this furniture and they go up and down and they play. And so this is a great room, tonight to spend some time in. I don't know if you guys have one of those cameras. That's perfect. Yeah, you should have no problem picking up energy in the house and stick figures. So, yeah. This is a second floor parlor. The Ringlings would have spent time relaxing here, as we often do as well. Sometimes we celebrate Christmas here. This space has a lot of Ringling artifacts. The coffee table was Charles Ringling's. The settee where you're sitting, that was Henry Ringling's. Oh, you're okay. Yep, that was Henry's. The circus posters are original to 1912. And what's interesting about that, you may or may not know or remember, but 1912 was when the Titanic sank. And what was really interesting is the Titanic was on its way to New York City. That's the show the Ringlings were doing at Madison Square Garden when the Titanic was on its way to New York.
Joan of Arc. I don't know, they did themed shows.
Oh yeah, Cinderella, Joan of Arc, they did all kinds of stuff, yep. Now the parlor here, you'll hear walking around on the floor sometimes. Another thing to watch for is if later on in the morning or whatever time you guys may get a little bit of sleep, close your doors and watch and see if they mess with the doors. They'll rattle the door handles, they'll open the doors, that sort of stuff. This is a linen closet, so nothing too special in there. This is the green room. The only problem with the green room, maybe you could turn the light on in here because we don't have a light here. If you don't mind. So this room during Al and Lou's time was used quite often by Otto Ringling. He's the only Ringling brother that never married, never owned a home. So he would go from brother to brother and stay with them. And then during Ida Ringling's time, the sister's time here, We believe her son, John Ringling North, stayed in this room. And earlier we talked about the movie in the 1950s, The Greatest Show on Earth with Charlton Heston. He was in that movie. This is the room in the house he grew up in. So this room, paranormal-wise, I don't think we've had too much happen here. I think people have sensed stuff here, but there's no really stories that stick to mind here. But one thing historically that's interesting is the closet that's here. We were making it into a bathroom and we peeled up the floor to use elsewhere in the house, knowing we were going to put tile in. And the subfloor, we found a time capsule box that was left in the house by the Ringlings. And one of the coolest things that was in there, I think there was some other cool stuff, but one of the coolest things these days, because of the brewery, the beer recipe, the Ringlings home brew recipe was in that box. And because of that piece of paper, we started the Ringling
Nice
Brewing
find.
Company. So that's our #1 beer, and if you guys want to sample it later, we could have you sample it.
Yeah.
It's a very light beer. It's made with bread yeast, which is very unusual today. And again, because of that, we built the whole brewery. So kind of set us off in a different direction.
It was destiny.
So you guys used the actual recipe that you found in the house.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that's our #1 beer. Yeah, it's really unusual. We have to get our yeast from Fleischmann's, which is a little different for beer makers, I believe. So now we'll head back down this way. One more thing I'll talk about here. Now we already came through here, but we like to point out something that's very interesting, and we do it from here because it's easier to see. When you look down in there, imagine you're looking at the back of an old-fashioned Pullman passenger car. If you remember the presidents back in the old days waving on the back of the train. So if you can imagine a railing and then a roof, even the light is meant to be part of it. This was designed to look like the back of a train car. And we think the Ringlings did that because they were probably very fond of train travel, because they spent most of the year traveling with the Ringling Brothers Circus on the circus train. Believe it or not, they only lived in this house from November until April, when Wisconsin weather is at its finest. The rest of the year they were traveling with the circus. So we don't know for sure how many servants the Ringlings would have had, but we believe it would have been about 6 to 8 to cover what they needed to get done for them. So whether it's a cook, a butler, cleaning staff, chauffeur, valet, maid, so on. So if you guys are ready, we'll head down.
Imagine they were probably the most well-to-do people of the state at the time.
So I'm going to take you guys down into the basement now. Okay, so once we walk through here, we're coming back out of the original mansion that was built in 1906. We're now in the portion that was added in 1948 by the Elks. Right above us is the brewery. And on the other side of the wall here used to be a 6-lane bowling alley. And that was operational up until just a few years ago. But we discovered that the bowling alley was sanded down as far as the National Bowling League allowed. So in order for us to have leagues here still, we would have had to have replaced it, and it was just too costly to replace it. So we decided to pull the alley out, and we ended up using most of the wood up in the Al Ringling Brewing Company. So the whole bar top, tabletops, and then the whole mezzanine floor up there is most of the bowling alley lanes. So we'll head in this direction. Now this object that's here has quite an interesting history attached to it. So on July 6, 1944 in Hartford, Connecticut, the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus Big Top, with about 12,000 people in the tent, sadly caught on fire. During World War II, they would waterproof the canvas with paraffin, which was basically a wax and gasoline mixture. The gasoline, once the wax went on, the gasoline would dissipate, and then you'd have this canvas full of wax. And the Big Top in the afternoon performance sadly caught on fire, and unfortunately 168 people lost their lives, mostly women and children. And part of the problem was there was a tiger chute that went across the hippodrome track that was used for transporting the tigers, or as a conveyance for the tigers, between the circus wagons where they were transported into the arena to the show. And a lot of the women and children got stuck trying to climb over this tiger shoot. And this was actually kept as evidence with the hearings and so on in Hartford, Connecticut. And it's the only section known to still exist. Our medium friend Diane Doyle has touched this many times and been very affected by it because she believes there's quite a bit of energy attached to this. So this would be something very interesting to look into later on. So very sad history.
What were you going to say about how it's broke?
Oh yeah, so you could see where a lot of the pieces are broken. And they say what happened is when the big top caught on fire, once the canvas burned, all the metal and wooden poles came crashing down on stuff. And this got damaged from the poles coming down on it, so sadly. So we're gonna head in this direction now. And what we've done with this space where the bowling alley was is we've decided to make it into a banquet room. And we also have one of the world's largest miniature circuses that we're starting to put on display. So take a look.
Oh, sweet.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Wow.
That's so cool.
Now, this miniature circus was built by William Dickey, and he lived in Tennessee. And he started to build the circus in 1917, and the Dickey family said he worked on it pretty much until the end of his life in the 1970s. And he started to build this circus because his family could not afford to go to the circus, so he built his own circus. And he used a pocket knife to carve everything in this circus. Wow. And it's got 63,000 handmade parts. And it is a very good model and representation of how a typical circus would have looked in the in the 20s and 1930s. So,
Wow.
yeah, one man.
That's insane.
So the room that we're in here is now the Ringling Brewing Company. And this room is actually not original to the mansion. This was added in 1948 after the Elks purchased the property. And if you were to go back in Al Ringling's time, we'd be out the back of the mansion in the backyard, freezing our butts off. And so it would have been a much different experience here. This was added in 1948 by the Elks for their meetings, for having weddings and events and that sort of stuff. And when we first purchased the mansion, we did the same thing. We would rent this out for weddings and events until that fateful day we found the time capsule box and decided to build the Al Ringling Brewing Company. So, and we have a 7-barrel brew house here. We make all of our own craft beer here right on site. We have an amazing brewmaster and an amazing crew here that helps us with the brewery. Behind me is the 1905 Gavioli band organ, the Savin Rock, on loan from our very dear friend Ken Hark, and plays about 150 songs. And typically you would find these at beer halls in Germany, or in the United States they would be in amusement halls or on carousels. And this particular one was in the middle of a giant carousel in West Haven, Connecticut at Savin Rock Amusement Park, right on the ocean and the Sound. So we're very lucky to have this here. So there you go.
What about hauntings in this room?
Oh yeah, let's talk about that. So that's right, the important part. So here in the room,
Fun facts.
we've had a lot of, you actually might want to talk to Krista too before she leaves, the bartender. She's had a few experiences here. But you'll hear noises in here you can't explain. One night I was staying in here late with a bartender. We were all hanging out. My girlfriend at the time was in here, and we heard a loud crash at about 2 o'clock in the morning. I mean, a crash. Nobody could figure out where it came from. We were all chilling on the couch underneath the mezzanine. We could hear walking around on top of the mezzanine. There was nobody there. We have a recording. We've got a camera there, a motion camera. We have a recording of a little bit of banging. The camera went off at about 1 o'clock in the morning. Nobody here, but we heard a little bit of banging, and then you can hear a guy go, "Oh!" And then that's it. And there was nobody here. The place was empty. So this space is pretty active. But if you guys get a chance, I would talk to Krista. She could tell you a story before she leaves. We should go talk to her now. Come on.
All right.
You guys can interview her too. Krista! It's your time to go on camera.
So my name is Krista Clements, and I've been bartending here since in 2001. Some things that have happened here while I am bartending. One thing that we actually caught on the security camera over there is the sound of a couple of male voices groaning, and this happened, I think it was within 5 minutes of me leaving the building after closing at night. Joe was awakened by the motion sensor alarm going off, came down here and checked things out, and nothing seemed to miss. And but then the next day he reviewed the security cam footage, and while you can't see anything, not only do you hear those groans, but first you hear like a bang, as if like a chair or something fell over, and then these groans. So that was kind of freaky. The last thing that happened to me is that three of us were just standing here talking during the shift in bars, bartenders, and I felt like 3 fingers kind of go like this on my shoulder, and there was no one behind me doing that. Oh, the women's bathroom has a ghost that does all sorts of weird things in it. What it does the most is lock the handicapped stall in the women's bathroom from the inside. So like you have to, when this happens, I have to go down on like bear crawl on my belly to get underneath the door to get inside to unlock the, I mean, it is securely locked. It's not like it just kind of like got caught. No, it definitely someone from the inside locked it and then goes away. And I don't think, it's not fun to crawl on the bathroom floor, so I'm not thinking that someone thinks it's a fun thing to come here all the time and lock the door from the inside.
It I forgot about the ladies' room, yeah. And we've even had guests in the brewery report seeing a ghost and the female ghost in there too. So
yeah,
that's happened.
Yeah,
really. Yeah.
Interesting things with the female ghost is one of our dishwashers once. She had gotten a new phone app that it was a filter that makes your picture look like a oil painting. And she took a picture just going down that hallway that the bathrooms are on, and applied the filter. And when the filter did it, not only did the hallway look like an oil painting, but there was a figure of a woman in like historical dress standing in front of the door to the women's bathroom. There was no person in the original unfiltered photo, but for some reason the filter decided to put the image of a woman standing there in front of the door. Isn't that weird? Yeah, that is weird. Another thing that happened to that same person was that she was in that bathroom cleaning, and something threw a small rock at the back of her head when she was cleaning the sinks, and that she was the only person who was in there. So I'm trying to think of what other fun things. Like up in that corner, I will see shadows a lot, and I will also hear conversation and like on the dance floor area over there. Yeah, those are, I think that
it's a lot of stuff.
That is a lot. Oh, this one.
I like that.
One of the general managers, a previous general manager, and I were sitting at the corner of the bar there while it was like after midnight. We were here late because someone was in cleaning the grill vent thing, and it was really late at night, and so we were just hanging out together while that person was working in there. And on the wall where Al Ringling is now, that painting was not there at the time, but we both saw an orb, but it wasn't round. It almost looked like a butterfly or a bird. It had wings. It flew out of the wall, and it like swooped around under the mezzanine and then went out the door.
Oh yeah, the orb.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and so and it was one of those things where like we're sitting there talking, and I saw it, and I just went, huh, because I didn't want him to think I was crazy. And then he was like, You saw that too? And I'm like, yeah.
Weirdest ass
So-
thing I've seen all
So
week.
that, yeah, those are. I think that's pretty much like the stuff that I.
It's a lot of good stuff.
It is a lot of good stuff. Yeah. So, and this is a great place, and none of it is scary. Yeah, I have no problem. I'm more afraid of like human beings waiting for me out in the parking lot when I close than about anything
Fair,
that's
fair.
in here while I'm closing by myself. So, yeah.
It's a commonly shared sentiment amongst most people
Yeah.
is that humans are scarier than anything paranormal.
Yeah.
Which they are. Significantly.
Yeah.
A ghost can kind of jump scare you, but it can't actually hurt you. Humans? Well,
Awesome. Did I give you the material you needed?
that was great.
Okay.
Fantastic. Lovely stories. Lovely to talk with you.
Through everywhere.
Yeah.
Tell
Well,
them stories.
And everybody that we interview at the very end, one question. Unless there's anything else you want to say,
No, I think that's it.
would you consider this location to be haunted?
Yes, very much so.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
You think so?
Yes.
Short, sweet, and to the point. I like that answer.
That's right. Yeah, there's no doubt. So
I mean,
All right.
so much that has happened, and
That's around
so
here.
many people who, like,
So many
not
people
only
have seen too much
customers,
weird
but
stuff.
people who've worked here over the years that have seen and experienced things, and then when you have things that happen like that, two people see something or hear something at the same time, where it's on camera,
yeah,
or audio. So
Hopefully we can get something tonight.
yeah,
yeah,
have a
that'd be
ball.
so cool.
Yeah, right. All right, guys. I think I'm ready.
All right, everybody. So it's about 10 o'clock p.m. this evening.
Yeah.
Woo! This house is incredibly cool. The history that is within this home. You guys know that all of us, we're all huge history nerds. And I mean, just looking at this room, not only all of these items, but just come over here once more. I mean, how cool is it to have like original clothing from people that, lived in this house and were here, have direct ties to the history of the home. The first money collection box for the Ringling Brothers Circus. And the owner of the house, he showed us a bunch of stuff off camera that they have stored in here. That's just mind blowing. The amount of historical artifacts that they have here dealing with the Ringling Brothers Circus is staggering. So if there's gonna be a place where there is this, circus energy, this traveling, adventurous, fun-loving energy, it's gonna be here inside of this house. Now, one thing I will say is that when we paused our cameras and we were setting all of our gear up after the tour guide who leads the ghost tours here and the day-to-day historical tours of the home, she stopped by where we were setting our stuff up and she told us a few stories. Now, off camera also, upstairs, we're gonna be investigating this area tonight. There's a servant's quarters. And what the owner of the home told us is that the servants that all stayed in that area were black historically. They know that every single one of the servants that they had that lived in that little area was black. And he said that somebody recently was staying inside of that room, and in the middle of the night they woke up because there was a small black child inside of their room. Like they fully saw this child standing towards the edge of their bed. This guest of the home crawled towards the edge of their bed. They were gonna try to talk to this kid. They watched the child turn around and walk out of the room and then disappear into thin air. So that's interesting, but the tour guide also told us, I don't know if he forgot to mention this or what, we're gonna bring it up with him later. She stated that there was a woman who died in that room giving birth to a child who was black, who survived. And she said that this baby was born out of wedlock. The woman's name who died was Mary Elizabeth. She was the same age as Ida, another woman who had lived in the home. So yeah, there's some really weird history. And the psychic woman who leads the ghost tours, I don't know if I mentioned she's psychic, but she claimed that she felt like there was rape energy, and she even said incest energy. Whatever that, no allegations here towards anybody, but that's just what she told us. So we definitely have changed our plans, and we are going to investigate that portion of the home because that's really interesting and bizarre. Babies born, without a known father. The mother dies during childbirth, and now you have a child's ghost being seen there. It makes sense almost, but then it doesn't, so there's a bit of a mystery here. But we would not be here today without our own little traveling circus.
So did the clowns.
Wow!
Oh, we're clowning around.
Oh, cool.
Mom?
This is so cool. It's loaded with antiques and artifacts, and it's so many different ghost stories. This is going to be a fun night. Just super excited about the circus.
Yeah, I mean, the Ringling brothers, this is crazy. All the artifacts here that are the real deal. It's pretty amazing, like you said, in this case, downstairs, upstairs. All the history, paranormal history, historical combined. It's just, it's a crazy place. It's somewhere I'd, tell everybody to come and visit if they're in this area. But I'm excited to get started.
Wow. Last but not least, this guy right here. I remember the first time I went to Ringling Brothers. I've always been just a huge circus nerd. I used to want to be a clown. Things didn't pan out that way.
What?
I did.
I'd say you succeeded.
You are a clown.
Yeah, he succeeded in that career.
Okay. Dreams do come true. Yes.
Yes.
But I mean, it's so cool to be in the house of like one of the most notorious and like famous circuses that have ever happened in the world, and it's been going on since the 1800s, and they're still doing it to this day. And so being in the house where, I mean, like one of them lived, and all this like memorabilia that they have from the history of this circus, I mean, this is so cool. So, I mean, I'm blessed to have the opportunity to ghost hunt in a place like this and maybe even talk to one of the founders.
It's gonna be cool to talk to a legit, interesting historical figure tonight, you know?
Yeah, one that
Brothers.
Yes.
Literally.
Oh my gosh.
The Ring. Well,
The Ringling.
Al is the founder.
Yeah, it's gonna be
I think
exciting. Historical.
Otto stayed here. He was the only one that wasn't married, right?
Yeah.
It
So
also
they-
feels really good to not be ghost hunting something that's like, oh my god, the spirit wants to kill you and attack you.
Yeah.
Right.
Just something happy for once. I'll be able to sleep.
It's funny though.
just have so much
And then it
cat
usually
happy to
turns
see us
over.
come visit for a change.
Video, we were all saying, oh,
Surprised.
Have a little cat ghost, and then it's like, demon.
Yeah. Well, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
And we're sleeping here tonight.
We are. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, the servants' quarter, that story alone is that's not a real happy story.
No.
So who knows?
And then
No,
this
I
is-
won't sleep good.
Clowns always sleep good. You're okay.
Okay. We'll try.
We gotta get a little red nose.
I might have one.
Oh.
Cut.
Well, all right, guys. Are you ready to begin this ghost hunt?
I suppose so.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Everybody, one by one, give me your best clown impression and laugh. Go. Oh shit.
I think what?
All right,
Jeff.
I don't think I can do. I don't,
Yeah.
I don't know
Give him some space.
what's a clown do. I don't.
Come on, you know what a clown does.
I don't know. What's a clown? Mary.
Oh boy. Hi kids, how you doing? I'm Squeaky the Clown. I don't know what the I know.
She got a kick out of it.
Okay.
Hey, you kids! Oh god, I'm gonna die of cringe when I edit this. Let's just start the ghost hunt.
This is really taking us.
Oh, that was bad. All right, guys. So we're sitting right now in the
So,
library.
Blue Metal,
This is
who's all of
Al's
you?
personal study and the area where he spent the most time. 1,600. And this is where we're going to start our investigation. So we've got a lot of obelisk type devices set up. We've got a yes or no meter.
Hey.
Hey. A bunch of REM pods. And we're going to see who we can get to come talk to us.
Tell me more.
To whoever's here, We are just coming here to speak with you this evening. Al Ringling, anybody from the Ringling family, anybody who died in the home, anybody from the Elks. If you want to speak with us tonight, all you have to do is come have a chat. You can use your voice. Hopefully we can be able to pick up what you're saying. If you say yes or no, you can manipulate these devices to say yes or no.
Safe house.
If you see these buttons, these lights, you can touch them. Or you can make noises, anything. My name is Colin.
My name is Jeff.
My name's Connor.
My name's Mary. Hunting.
Hunting. He did say that all the brothers were really into hunting.
Yeah, their guns are over there.
Yeah. Aggravated.
Jesus.
Kill.
Hunting, kill, aggravated?
That's interesting.
Were they hunters?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he said that they were into hunting and fishing.
Because, I mean, having...
I'm just gonna ask, if there's somebody here, can you go touch one of these red lights like that? Or give us a sign that you're here?
We're still good here.
Climb.
That thing is going crazy.
It is.
Is there anybody in the house with us right now?
A warning.
A warning.
Al, are you here? Al. Al, are you here? Can you let us know if you're here? I know that you love this room. We'd sure like to hear from you.
Subtract. Work.
Work.
Did you do a lot of work in this room?
Remember the guy who worked all the time? It was Otto. He was the business leader in the family.
Pass.
Pass.
This is going crazy.
I know. Effective.
We're hiding here.
You don't have to be afraid of us. We just want to talk to you. Moan.
Well, like the people in the bar moan.
Yeah.
Remember, that was one of those stories.
Mm-hmm.
We're not trying to hurt you or be mean to you or any way. We just want to have a conversation with you. We really love the history of this place.
Not interested. We love the circus. When is the circus coming to town? Can you
It's
come?
not just me here.
Can you come and talk to us and tell us?
Jeez.
Roadway.
What does that say on you?
Made?
Made.
Wow.
Aggravated,
I said-
affected, made.
It's not just me here.
Speed.
But here's
Speed roadway?
we could be talking to the servants' quarters.
Can you tell us your name? Made.
What?
M-A-D.
Still
Still,
the
no,
same
definitely
phonetic.
same thing.
Right.
Made and M-A-D-E.
Okay, why don't we end up...
Who are we talking
Yeah.
to?
Yeah. Are you...
So this is the maid?
Solve it.
Solve it?
How about this box? Yes, no.
Sorry if I scared you.
You didn't scare us.
So if you're the maid, can you just say yes on this box or here? You can manipulate the light.
Cheat.
Cheat.
Oh,
Cheating.
well,
The
same,
baby out of wedlock.
same whole thing. Can you just let us know that you're here if you're the maid? Yes or no? You don't have to be afraid of us, and we're not gonna. There's nothing about a secret if something happened. If you're the maid, we just want to know if it's you. Okay.
They did it.
Go further. They did it?
Well,
It's like
same thing.
keep going.
Or,
To find
I mean,
out.
it's the maid, I think.
Can you tell us
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Yes. Yes or no?
Can you tell us what your name is?
Maid.
You can't hide.
That's so weird. It said you can't hide, and then earlier it said we're hiding here. So it's like there's the maid, but there's like something else that's trying to find her.
Yes.
Yeah.
After sassy. So what's it like for you wherever you're at right now? We understand your story. Being the maid, I don't know your name, or is it, do we think Colin?
Ocean.
Mary
No
Elizabeth?
land.
Is that who you think?
Yeah, that's what she said.
Right? A Mary Elizabeth? Are you Mary Elizabeth? The maid up in the servants' quarter? Can you tell us if that's your name?
Religion.
We'll keep getting into that.
You're a child.
I was ordered.
I was ordered.
Man, I think
Preliminary. I was ordered to do preliminary. Like a C-section or something.
if you're ordered though, you're probably the servant.
Yeah, well, yeah. If you're the girl who died giving birth,
Guess.
my God,
On the roof.
on the roof. If you're the woman who died giving birth, can you please touch one of these lights or make a noise in here or activate one of these, like this green light, touch it like that to show yes? That's you? What's that?
Knock.
There's a knock or something.
Over there.
That's
It was actually over here. In this class.
Very good. All right.
Can you go sit in that rocking chair?
Candle? Maybe she
We have-
wants us to
we
light
have-
those candles.
We have the candles.
Do you want us to light those candles? Give us a sign one more time. We can light them. Oh, this isn't even audio. Bring candles?
I had the candles out,
Yeah,
and then I
I
said
saw
I did not bring matches, or my lighter didn't work. So, do you want me to take out the candles, and should we light them? Can you touch one of these devices, or just give us a sign that you want me to take the candles out?
Unclear.
Let's try make it clear, please. If this is Mary Elizabeth.
3.
Oh, that is weird.
What? Take it back. Marie?
Yeah.
I mean, what if that was her name? So was your name Marie and not Mary? Stables.
Oh, that would be
This was the.
the carriage house where they had the
Is that
horses.
where she was assaulted?
Could have been.
Marie? Were you assaulted by somebody in the stables? You can say the word yes or Jody. Or touch one of these like this, or touch this. Is it a yes that something happened to you in the stables?
Cows.
Cows?
Same thing.
The cows.
Yeah, that's weird. Purified? Lord? Isn't that like pure?
Baptized?
Yeah, like found God to cleanse yourself?
Purified. Where would that fit in? Purified Lord.
Maybe she felt bad.
So after the fact.
Might even be talking about Elks Lodge.
Sorry if I scared you.
You're not scaring us. You don't have to worry about that. That's what we're here for.
So if this is the maid, Marie, what we're getting is that chained up.
Well.
I'm very lonely here.
I'm sorry.
So you,
It's gotta be.
it's snowing.
It's gotta be her.
So it's snowing?
Maybe that's.
We've never gotten that before.
Maybe that's. Well, during the time.
Yeah.
She's explaining it.
So you were chained up or assaulted, restrained in some way, assaulted by somebody, you gave birth and died. Maybe after the assault you went to God and tried to find wholeness and peace again, and your name's Marie. Could you tell us that that's correct by touching one of our devices, making a noise, playing with one of these toys?
Yes.
Ooh.
Well, first time it said anything.
Massacre.
It's me.
It's me.
Yes, it's me.
Okay.
Oh, dude, that gave me chills. Thank you, Marie. Who did it? Who did that to you? Hallway, the servants' quarters. Marie, it might be hard to talk about, but who did that to you? Who restrained you and raped you?
Trigger.
Trigger. Gunpoint?
Yeah.
I was sick.
Well, she died giving birth.
Yeah.
Marie, where are you now? Are you happy where you're at? Give us an idea of where you're at right now. Explain it in one of these devices.
We won't harm you.
Good.
Well, that's good.
I don't want to be harmed.
Wait.
Much pain.
I was sick, much
So
pain.
where she's at now? Do you think that's what she means, or?
If she died during childbirth, she had to have some sort of complication that came from that. Unless she was killed.
You also think back then they didn't have people were doing home births. They didn't do epidurals. She could have just, childbirth is obviously a very painful thing. And
Somebody who's giving birth.
Yes, it's very painful. It is painful.
And so back then a lot of people died from childbirth. And especially if you're a servant, you're not going to be getting the best care.
Yeah.
So
Darkness.
So it's all right.
your age.
Where's she at now?
Yeah.
You know, maybe she's in darkness and she's not.
Alarming sound.
And she's not.
Are
in a
these
place.
sounds scaring you?
Darkness, alarming sounds. Do you see any light, Marie? Like where you're at? Any place?
Archangel.
Wow. Clearly there's religious stuff in here. Lord, purified, archangel. So she's surrounded by angels?
Stone. Surrounded by stone.
You brought up candles, and you said you're surrounded by darkness, answering his question, Marie. Do you want...
There's this is a religious painting right here.
Oh yeah, true. That's true.
There's actually a lot of religious stuff all around the house.
Complete.
If you could use this device one more time, do you want us to light candles for you if all you see is darkness right now?
Sorry, I'm looking this up. Because that's the story of that, is that an angel came to Daniel in the lion's den to protect him. And that's why the lions didn't eat him.
An archangel.
That is weird.
I was looking up the name of the angel because I forgot. Gabriel.
Gabriel, my middle name. Wasn't I named after the angel?
Yes. The Christmas angel.
Too bad I did not follow through on that name.
Oh, you're a little angel. Even if you're a little devil every once in a while.
A little devilish.
I like that. Look at alarming noise on this one
that
too.
one?
Wow.
Same response. We've never gotten that. Do you not like the noises that all of these toys are making, Marie?
Or is it where she's at?
Well, you kind of think about too, this house hasn't been investigated a whole lot.
Yeah.
So these noises could be kind of alarming, and they do ghost tours, but
Well, imagine being from like the early 1900s or late 1800s and hearing those beeps. Like that would be a sound you've never heard before in your life.
Elsewhere.
Where are you right now?
No.
My bad.
Do you want us to light candles
Probably
for
right there
you,
in the
Marie?
room.
Can you use that box and tell us? Just say it out loud. If I could.
It's so quiet now.
Yeah.
Couldn't script also be...
Assault.
What's the question you asked me?
We should light candles. Yeah. I'm sure. Quarantine?
Yeah.
Think about it.
Well,
I was
that's
sick. I was in pain. Quarantine.
Well, I mean, that's what they used to do with women who were having kids. They would quarantine them off.
Yeah.
You get put in a different room in the house.
Complete quarantine. Had complete.
Were you quarantined?
Well, maybe that's why when it's saying like whatever chained up or like restrained, maybe she was like forced to stay in the room. Could also be one of those things where it's like a shameful pregnancy that they didn't want people to see.
That's what I would think, Should be chained up so she can't be seen.
Wealthy.
Well, they were wealthy.
Assault is a crazy thing that we kind of glazed over too.
Right.
Every response has been like spot on here.
It's kind of weird, like it's focused on this. Like it could be anything else, but it's focused on this.
Too difficult.
The pregnancy, the delivery was too difficult.
It's a difficult situation.
We should light the candles.
Should I grab them?
Yeah. Should we get a lighter?
My name is William.
Is there any Williams?
It's Henry William Ringling, one of the brothers.
You hear that?
A big bag.
Mortuary.
I've always wondered, Marie, if you die, like you died during pregnancy, are you permanently stuck like that in a painful state until you can get free? Or are you here in the room just walking around talking to us? Or are you literally stuck kind of in that state and you're just talking to us from upstairs?
Female.
It's all making sense.
The tower.
We had the roof as well. What's that room up?
Well, the servants' quarters is underneath the apartment up top, so it's kind of weird.
Yeah, Marie, like Colin asked, are you in a place now where you feel your pain?
Pay attention.
We are. And respectfully, are you in a place right now where you still feel your pain that you did during your childbirth? Just yes or no, yes or no on one of these devices? Or hit this device to turn the lights on for us?
No then.
You can tell us. We're friendly. We're here to help you.
Clouded.
Her memory's clouded.
Vision.
She's in darkness, so it's like maybe she can't actually see.
Can you see around you, Marie? Can you see the room? Or is it darkness like you said? Try to answer yes or no, Marie. Can you see us? Can you see the room around you? Or do you see darkness? Say yes if you can see stuff, no if all you see is dark. Or touch this light for yes, this light
20.
for dark. I want to see what she sees. You want to ask her from woman to woman?
Okay.
English.
I can speak English. Can you just tell us what you see? Is it dark or is it light? Do you see us? Can you tell us yes or no? Can you tell us if it's dark where you're at?
What was that?
That was a noise.
It's a loud noise like right above us.
Yeah.
Like a door closing.
Yeah, it's like a door.
Hello?
Is it dark where you're at? It's very dark out in the hallway.
How creepy would it be if those motion lights came on?
Yeah, that'd be creepy.
I would do this.
Their teeth chattering.
Identity harmful.
Are you sad because you passed away?
Crossroads.
And she's
She's at a
Money.
crossroads.
Money.
Is there anything we can do to help you?
Listen upstairs.
Oh, that's kind of where we heard that sound.
Yeah.
Or what?
Okay, so guess who William's mother was? Her name is Marie.
That's weird.
Henry's mom?
Henry's mom. Henry William Ringling. His mother is Marie.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, what happened to her? Is that Marie? That's the mom.
Oh.
Yeah, wait. Look it up, Jeff. I don't have a phone.
What do you mean?
Like, look up a picture of her.
Oh, a picture of.
Because wouldn't that be
It's
her
Marie.
fucking picture right there?
Yeah, because that's
Let me see if I can.
daughter.
Marie Salome Ringling. That's this girl. Marie Salome.
That's the fucking mom of all of them.
That's weird.
Marie is the mother.
Up there, that's
Yes.
the mother.
That's the mother?
Yeah. This is literally Marie right here.
Oh my gosh.
That's Marie Ringling.
Okay.
Okay, that's weird.
Wow.
Well, that's pretty
We
crazy.
had Marie.
Marie Salome Juliana. I visit sometimes.
Wow.
Oh,
Now I'm confused.
I know, it's really
Very
confusing.
Yeah, because William also.
And we could just be getting somebody else that's coming in to try to talk to us.
Yeah.
All right, so we're at a bit of a crossroads ourselves here. Mary Elizabeth is the woman that we were told gave birth to a child and died upstairs. It's a story. But Marie Ringling is the mother of all the Ringling brothers, and I'm assuming she was here, all the time, visiting her son. So, is this Mary Elizabeth, the woman who died during childbirth that we've been talking to, or Marie Ringling?
Mad.
You can say yes if it's Mary Elizabeth who died during her pregnancy, or no if it's Marie Ringling.
So that child.
Alfred died in 1916 or 1919. There's Albert and there's Alfred. The mom of them died in 1907. That's kind of crazy. Smoking room.
Oh.
Is that where you want us to go? To the poker room?
The man cave, the pool table.
Or the pool room? The billiards table?
It's a hard one to unravel.
Seriously. We're about to leave. Is that where we should go? To the billiards room?
It was silent.
I'm shocked, especially we're in a town. It's like completely silent in this house. How can it be so quiet?
It's weird.
I can hear everything.
The face you made is so funny.
What was it?
You said,
I make the weirdest faces. And I
love
try
it.
just to be normal. It's not
so
even
quiet.
possible.
What did that say?
rail.
Railroad.
Railroad.
Wow.
No, it's not.
Well,
I'll go to the next room.
let's go to the next room, guys.
All right.
Perfect timing. 1% on this battery.
All right, we're in the billiards room right now. To anyone who's in here, you can go up to any of these little toys and touch them, just like that. Or you can come tap this bell, like that. Oh, that was weird. To let us know. The hell, this thing's been on for like 20 minutes.
You like that bell?
If you like that
Just all
bell,
some bonkers.
if you tap it, we're gonna interpret that as a yes. So we've been told you guys like to use dowsing rods. So,
Yes.
so just like she was saying to us before, we're gonna do the same thing. You can cross them if the answer to the question is a yes, or keep them straight if it's a no.
Or two bells. 2 rings. I don't know.
So we were just talking to who we thought was someone named Marie. All right? What the hell? Marie? Maybe we got your name wrong. Was the woman who got pregnant and died while giving birth, was her name Mary Elizabeth? Mary Elizabeth, are you here with us? Can you cross or tap the bell if you're here?
No. It's Marie. It's Marie.
So it's not the mother either then. Is there a male energy in this
Very
room?
interesting.
Like a man?
I just saw something like flash in front of the mirror. But it was behind you.
Look at that. Thank you for confirming that. Whoever's here, we're gonna do a little game. Alright. So we're gonna read through the alphabet and try to help spell your name out. When it comes to the letter you want to select, tap on that bell or cross the rods. So let's spell out your name. All right, I'm gonna start. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I.
Ida. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J.
Edge.
Our initials?
I-J.
Ida would be the I, possibly. J. What's Ida's?
Is this Ida? Oh. Oh, there you go.
Maybe.
Wasn't Ida the one that was like everything was left to?
She was the sister to John. Maybe the J is John. No, her son was John.
Really?
Yeah. John North. John Ringling North. Maybe it's Ida and John.
Get the house.
Yeah.
After all the guys.
Yeah, and then her and her kids were
John.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, yes. That's Ida.
Agreeing, apparently.
So, Ida.
Okay.
Do you remember a girl dying while giving birth upstairs in the servants' quarters? Do you have a memory of that?
Oh. Was the girl's name Mary?
Maybe her name wasn't Mary.
I don't think they know for sure who that was.
Okay, let's do the alphabet test again. Ida, help us spell out the name of the woman who died giving birth in the servants' quarters.
V. V.
A, B, C.
VC. Are those her initials?
Yeah, but again.
Because, I mean, you got like Victoria, Veronica.
Are they in the Ringling family? Yes.
Oh. VC.
Is it Veronica?
Yeah.
Is it Victoria?
Let's try to spell out her name, her first name. So it's V. What's the next letter? A, B, C. All right, let's just do vowels.
C again.
Oh, weird. VC again.
Wow, that's really weird.
C is Charles, one of the brothers. Okay.
There's so many like brothers and family members here. It's like a little confusing, honestly. All right, whatever the name is with V, let's spell it out. I'm just gonna recite vowels. So it's V, A, E, E. Okay, consonants now. So it's V, E, B, C, C again. Vec?
VEC.
VEC.
Veron or no?
V. Oh, look at that.
Wow.
So, around the right trail is VC. That has something to do with the girl who died during pregnancy. During giving
I'm not sure how or why, but
while she was giving birth.
VC, the Viet Cong.
I was thinking that too. Look at that though. It's fucking weird, actually. What the hell is VC? I'm gonna straighten these back out. Okay, so one more time. Let's just try this. Maybe you messed up. Spell her name out. We have VE. B, C, D, F, G, H, J, K, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S, T, V, W, X.
You're skipping letters.
Vex.
Pops, my word, my man. How many times does this need to be spelled out for you to understand? Holy moly.
Vec. VEC, VEX.
Are you trying to spell out a name?
Yeah.
Is Vex the name? Can you ring the bell if Vex is the name?
Still very confusing.
Who is Vex?
Isn't vexing a word?
Yeah.
Like a vexing question? Like it's...
Are you saying that because you're not supposed to say?
Or just couldn't know, because vexing's like confusing.
Is it slightly perturbed?
Did you not know her name?
Mad?
Shouldn't know her. Like her real name, maybe? Are you afraid to tell us, like, the real name or admit to it? Maybe in fear that it would look bad?
It's gotten really cold in here.
I know. It's so weird. It keeps hitting the bell right when they cross. I don't know if you've noticed that. But there was, I just want to confirm one more time, there was a woman who died during childbirth. And VC has something to do with it? VEC or VEX?
Remember that figure was sitting in the corner?
Really?
Mm-hmm. Over in the corner by the vest.
Vest. V-E.
Oh.
Vex. Vest.
Well,
Maybe
that's
we
weird.
should do
Are you talking about that vest that's in the corner?
Do you want us to move over there?
Maybe you should do the SLS there. You filming?
Alright, so we went and set up some lighting. So, oh shit!
That's what I'm telling you.
That was me. Oh, sorry.
This thing's been in this corner since you left.
Look at that, dude. It's actually standing right there by the vest.
Yeah, right.
Isn't this in the corner? Or wait, no, it's on the wall right here. It's next, it's literally directly next to the vest.
The vest, it's right next to the vest.
Is that the person that you were telling us about? You can ring the bell. Whoever.
It's just so weird that Vex, Vic, and then vest, and then there's a huge figure
on the vest.
Yeah.
And look, it's just a wall right there.
Right.
They disappeared.
Oh,
Where'd you go?
what was that?
Oh, that was a noise.
That was a
over
door.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like they just walked out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
there. Uh-huh.
It was here like, you guys walked out in the hallway? And it was here the whole time.
So
I just stood here.
whoever I was just speaking with and we were asking questions to, can you ring that bell if you were trying to spell the word vest? Because that vest has something to do with something that happened here.
You can come back.
Or maybe I should ask, is the vest, you were just trying to spell out vest, Ida.
Okay, here's it. Figures back.
Oh, dude, look, it looks like it's like protecting
No,
the
he's
case.
on the case. He's on the case.
Look at that. It's like literally like it's standing like protecting the case.
It's a different color too. I don't know what that means. Different spirit, do you think?
Ida, if you're still here and that you were talking through that bell, can you ring the bell if the person in front of this case is trying to block us from seeing something inside of it?
Look at it going
or
back.
protecting it?
It's trying to go back to the actual.
It's literally, it was like literally putting its hands like out like this.
Look at how much smaller it is.
You feel anything, Connor?
I feel cold on my left side. My right side feels warm. My left side feels cold.
Should we look closer at something that's inside of that case?
Should I put my hand out? See if it touches me?
Put your left hand out.
Oh, dude, it's literally blocking the case.
Put
What
your
the
left hand out farther.
Oh.
Go farther, Connor.
Well, that wasn't.
Oh, look at it. Look at that.
It's grabbing your
hand out
hand.
and
Grabbing
check it
your
out.
hand.
Funny enough, I do feel like a slight breeze on my hand.
Can you grab Connor's hand?
Now it's like going away from you.
No, grab Connor's hand. Oh, disappeared. You feel anything from
What's
that?
that sound?
There's a whistle.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, this room's definitely active.
I swear, like I feel, like you can feel the temperature difference. Feel
It's-
like,
well, that's why
feel
I'm
right
like-
here, and then feel this side.
Yeah, that is weird.
It's like you can feel the temperature difference on my shirt.
Well, this whole room has gotten a
Well,
lot
look
colder.
at this.
That was the money box, right?
Hunting rifles, right?
Yeah,
I was talking about hunting.
and a shotgun.
You got John Ringling, a football, mirror, money, pipes. It is weird though, hunting. And it brought us over to the rifles. Well, I think at this point we should go to another room.
Want to go downstairs?
Sure.
Yeah,
Let's go downstairs.
let's do it.
I think we should crack the SLS out down there.
Yeah.
All right.
So, as a part of our investigation, we really wanted to come downstairs to investigate this infamous haunted object. So this grate is from the tiger's pen. The cage in that circus in Connecticut, the infamous fire that destroyed, you know, the big top, a ton of the structures, over 160 people perished in that fire. Women and children mainly were the ones that were trying to escape. And like the owner said, a lot of them died pressed up against this thing. The negative energy that psychics have said radiates from this dealing with circuses is completely off the charts. So, whoa. Is there somebody here attached to this tiger's pen cage? You can touch that light again or just say yes. To whoever's here, we have this device. If you say yes or no, we should be able to hear your answer to these questions. You can also touch any of these glowing red lights to respond to our questions. And we also have another device that we might be able to use to hear your voice. Is there somebody here who's willing to speak with us? If you just touch one of those lights or say yes, we can use the other device.
That's a weird noise.
Like, come over here. It sounded like someone coughing.
Yeah, or gurgling or something.
This is creepy in here.
And you know, we actually heard a noise just when we were sitting up coming from in there.
I mean, this is like tons of historical objects in here.
Yeah.
Is there anybody down here with us? Any members of the Ringling family?
Okay, what was that?
I don't know.
What was that? Did it sound kind of like a cough?
I thought so.
Like a little kid.
I think it was more mechanical.
Yeah, I thought it was
like a tap.
Oh, there again, right there. Who's here?
That was loud.
I think we should walk down and see what it is.
Oh, over there now.
Let's walk over there and see if it is something mechanical.
Are you attached to one of the objects down here?
Ooh, there it goes again. Some interesting noises for sure. Yeah, you need to go check out and see what those are.
I don't know, that gives me a creepy vibe.
Do you not want us to go in here?
Do you have that? Or is that back there?
Why would we go by it and make some noise?
I think it didn't want us to leave.
Right.
Or it didn't want us to come in here. Do you want us to go back to the tiger chute?
Ooh.
Oh!
And now it's behind you again.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Let's go.
Yes.
What?
Well, especially when this thing's not moving.
Should we close the door?
It's creepy, but it's creepy down here. People will create that vibe of someone.
It feels like back rooms.
Right on you.
This is way creepier than upstairs. Who's down here with us? Tell us your name.
Yes.
Can you tell us your name?
Are you attached to this object right here? This? Of course.
Yes.
That's what it said?
Yes.
Yes. Did you die in the circus fire in Connecticut?
Probably.
It killed me?
Yeah, killed it.
I heard it felt like burns.
Yeah.
What's your name?
All these lights on.
Can you? It's gotten way colder right here.
I know.
You guys feel that actually?
Oh, it's so cold.
Can you tell us what your name is?
Yes.
Who? Are you the one that keeps making the noises all around us?
For sure.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Did you die that day at the circus because of the fire?
The tent?
Did the tent collapse on you?
Do you remember that day?
Do you know what they covered the tent with? Do you remember what they covered the tent with? If you were there? Oh, I've got to read this on the wax.
Did children die that day?
Stepped on.
True. Did people get trampled while they tried to get out?
Can you please just tell us, try to remember your name? Annabelle. Annabelle. Is your name Annabelle?
Annabelle, can you find your mother?
Annabelle? Do you remember where you died? Fire. Burn. Frost.
Annabelle, were you looking at any animals? What were some of the animals you could see?
Do you remember going to the circus?
Yes.
Were you having fun?
No.
Jeff.
No.
What do you see right now? Can you see us standing here right now, Annabelle? I have blonde hair and a pink shirt on. Can you see me?
Oh, there's one on here.
Oh.
What the heck?
Oh, I just saw it run away. Annabelle, what do you see? Can you see us?
Oh, there's another noise. Hey, here's one. I got one. Oh, huge. On the grate.
Oh.
Oh, did you hear that noise?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, whoever is on the grate,
Oh my God,
tell
dude.
us who you are through the box.
It's like they're trying to climb over.
Look at that.
Climb out.
Try, yeah.
Look at that.
Annabelle, are you sitting on top of this right now? Is that who we see?
it's him.
Looks stuck. Can you move off it? Are you stuck? I can see how they can almost get their shoe caught in there.
My foot.
Kind of like
Shoe
my
caught
foot
in there.
caught.
Is whoever's here on the grate, are you stuck inside of it?
It's like his feet.
I am.
Oh my God.
That sounded like a man. What's your name, sir?
Theo.
Theo. Can you say your name one more time?
Disappeared. It's gone. Can you come back? Anybody else that got stuck on here?
Can you say your name one more time?
Did somebody hear a whistle?
All right. So Connor's camera battery just died. So now we're just on this camera with no mic. We're gonna be done with this part of the investigation.
I got another one though. It's back.
Oh shit, is that him?
It's back again.
Is that you, Theo?
Is that a different color?
Dude, it's literally stuck in there. No, it's the same color.
Same color?
Looks so big.
Try
Are
to
you
climb
stuck
over
in
it.
the- Can you touch one of the lights and make them go off for us?
Let's ask it some questions.
We know you.
What's your name? Whoever we're seeing.
It's moving all over. Look, it's like frantic.
There's a noise back there.
It's gone again. Disappeared.
There's like multiple spirits attached to this thing. A little girl named Annabelle, Theo. Just keep scanning. I just want to ask a couple more questions. What's your name? Who we just saw? Can you tell us? There's another noise.
It is cold.
It is
I know.
cold. This is like the creepiest feeling down here.
Are you stuck inside of that or attached to that metal?
Help me.
Can you leave or move on from this?
Boy
there. Was your death painful?
Four?
It's almost like a whistling too coming through.
Uh-huh.
Kinda.
So there are 4 spirits attached to that thing?
I can just see like all the circus workers like whistling when they're working and setting up. The busy energy down here too, like chaotic or something.
All right, we're gonna go upstairs. Is there anything else you want to say to us?
Thank you.
Okay. Well, that's the last I did, really. Yes.
Take care.
I kind of feel like it left. It feels different. Well, thank you to whoever was talking to us. We're gonna go upstairs to the 2nd floor of the house if you want to follow us and keep talking to us. But after this little diversion, which was really interesting, I think we now have to go back and figure out what's the deal with the vest, who's the girl who died while pregnant, allegedly, and what's Marie doing here.
Right.
And no more figures, Jeff?
I'm just kind of standing around.
All right.
Okay.
My camera's about to die. We're right now in Lou's bedroom, and we're gonna do a quick DR60 session to see if anyone here in the mansion's most active room knows anything about that woman who died giving birth. So we'll all go around. Let's do 2 questions each. Whoever's here with us right now, can you confirm if a woman died giving birth in here or not?
Are there any members of the Ringling family here?
Yeah, I keep trying to find that
If you
information
gave
up in
birth
here, and it
to
keeps
a
heading on
child-
some weird dead ends.
What was that child's name?
Did you die in this house?
What were you trying to spell by spelling out VE? Vex? What was that?
Was one of the servants of this house assaulted?
We came here because of the name on the mansion, Ringling. All I want you to do is just say your last name, any of you guys. Ringling.
Is there something you want to tell us?
All right, here we go.
Whoever's here with us right now,
Alright.
can you confirm if the woman died giving birth in here or not?
Oh, I heard the yes.
There's a yes.
That's weird.
Listen.
Whoever's here with us right now, can you confirm if the woman died giving birth in here or not?
Yes. Good hearing.
Of the Ringling family here? If you gave
Something, but I can't say for sure.
here or not, are there any members of the Ringling family here? If you gave birth to a child, what was that child's name? Did you die in this house?
No.
What were you
What the?
trying to spell birth to a child? What was that child's name? Did you die in this house? What were you trying to spell by spelling out V-E? That? What was that?
It sounds like it says vest.
Oh, do it again.
Spell by spelling out V-E. That? What was that?
Maybe twice. Maybe twice.
Mm-hmm.
Assaulted. It literally says assaulted.
What was that? Was one of the servants of this house assaulted? We came
It literally says assaulted.
all I want you to do is just say
What was that?
It literally says ring.
Ringling. Very big claws,
They're
yeah.
almost like mad, like, listen.
I'm gonna say as loud as can. Clear. Pauses.
Is there something you want to tell us?
What?
Yeah.
They wanted to talk.
Not sure.
That was a lot of
That was
voices.
a lot of extra sounds. That was a lot of extra voices. And some of it actually came through.
Because we're sleeping
Very
in
nice.
this room tonight.
Good luck.
Let's see one more.
Okay, that was
one
interesting.
question each.
Okay.
Because that was just so much. Also, what did you say when you said
Ringling.
Ringling?
Yes, I
No,
knew I said
Rinlin?
something wrong
Rinlin.
the first time.
Wrigley.
Wrigley. We're all like.
But then I did say Ringling.
And then then after you said it, then you were like,
Mary.
Ringling. Ringling.
Ringling. They were probably pissed off you butchered their name.
Probably.
Ringling.
I'm so tired.
You're so overtired.
I am.
Okay, here we go.
So, can you say your first name, please? Whoever's here?
Yeah, first name.
Can you tell us the name of the servant that was hurt?
So you're familiar with the circus? If you are, how did the circus get from one town to the next?
How many spirits are in this house?
Too many. This place can host 112 spirits. We currently have 111. Want to join?
So, can you say your first name, please? Whoever's here? Can you tell us the name of the servant that was hurt?
Can't make it out. It's too rough, too coarse, too close to the mic. Like they're shouting in it.
Can you tell us the name of the servant that was hurt?
I can't tell.
So you're familiar with the circus? If you are, how does the circus get from one town to the next? How many spirits are in this house?
Oh.
17, I heard.
That's a pretty
17,
clear
yeah.
17, yeah.
It was either 17 or 17.
Yeah, 17 or 17,
Well,
something like that.
At this point,
Something with a 7.
we're going to do an Estes session in a room that we never even showed on the tour, the servants' quarters. Should we go?
Let's go. Let's do it.
All right, guys.
Let's do it.
Hey everybody, it's Colin here. Thank you, Folsky viewer. Let's smash that 10 seconds.
Doing this setup a little bit differently. The main camera's over here. We're using our big interview camera, the Lumix. It's just going to be kind of an odd, different setup. But Connor's going under right now. And this is the servants' quarters. So the psychic said that in that room, that's where she believes the woman gave birth and died. And it was here where the guests saw the black child that walked into that door, then walked out here and disappeared. So,
Okay, let's get
you
some.
guys ready?
Going up. Repeat. They're here?
Who's here? Can you give us your name?
They hear me. Get outside.
Who are we talking to right now?
We don't know.
You don't know the name of the person that is in here? What did the psychic say she calls the little kid?
It's so cold.
Timmy.
Yeah, Timmy.
Because they don't know his name.
Yeah.
Is this Timmy?
Nope.
Are there more than one of you here?
Pray for me.
Is there more than one of you here, or just one of you? It's just one of you.
Take it on home. I ask to pray.
Why do we need to pray for you?
Please, Mom.
Is this Timmy's mother?
Baby.
Did you die giving birth to a baby in this room?
Indeed.
What's your name?
Jenny.
Did your baby live?
Gave me best wishes.
The family did, or?
Jimmy, were you a maid here or a servant here?
Of the sort.
So you worked for the Ringling family?
Sure. Wow, you sound great.
Who was the father of your baby?
Imagine it.
What's it feel like to be dead?
They'll let it show.
Are you happy, or does it feel good or feel bad?
You're good company, Jade.
I don't know, that was so funny. Jade. Of course, you and the ghost doesn't know your real name.
It looks like they're teasing him or something. Hey, Jade.
Well, maybe it was like the
What's that?
Maybe when you really think about it,
Saturday?
it's like the Ringling guy. Maybe this servant was like molested by her blood brother or something, and or father at home in like an abusive scenario, and the Ringling family was like helping to support her, helped her give birth here, and then she just sadly died.
Right.
True.
You know?
And they were said to be really nice, like Al.
Yeah.
Was super nice. So they probably were trying to help her.
That's a good.
Hate people.
Mhm.
That makes sense.
So Jenny, were you impregnated by like your father?
That's correct.
Did you come from a kind of broken, abusive home?
Get back here.
Was the Ringling family protecting you and helping you out? Keeping you safe?
Got sick.
Did they help you when you got sick?
Got checked out.
Maybe they brought her to a doctor, or the doctor even come in here?
Mm-hmm. How old were you when you died?
Oh. I just felt someone like grab my chin.
How old?
Fourth and only.
How old were you when you died? Like my mom just asked.
I go up. Say a prayer.
More religion.
Where are you right now, Jenny? Like, where do you think you're living? In the house, in heaven? Where do you think?
I see you.
After all night long you were asking, do you see me? Do you see me? No, I see you.
But then would that mean that she's here?
Yeah. I always wonder, are you like stuck here?
Gosh, that's new.
Like maybe you died suddenly and you felt guilty about being molested by your father?
Very nice.
I mean, that was a commonly held sentiment, especially back then, that the victims of sexual violence put it on themselves and felt like, why would this happen to me, or what did I do to have this happen to me? It's a terrible way that it was thought of, but that was just the time period, you know? Did you look to God and religion to help cleanse yourself after what happened that your father did to you?
Can you?
Yes.
Yeah, you can. But you need to know that you're already saved.
That's a problem.
No, you don't need anybody. You're a strong person. And it's already over. It was not your fault. It was never your fault.
Saturday? I feel like you keep saying Saturday. We love it.
Saturday
Well, it's time
night's
maybe your day off.
alright.
Like a day of rest from working.
Or it could also be.
Yes, sir.
I was gonna say there's a lot of people come to the brewery on Saturdays.
Yeah. True. All people.
We get to go outside.
Can you leave this place?
What's it called in German? They call it
Beer Fest?
Beer Fest, beer garden out there.
Can you leave the house? Can you move?
They're happy, man.
Can you move on from here? And remember that psychic said that they are generally happy. You know, like this was a really good environment.
Right.
Did the Ringling people family treat you well?
So that's.
Are you happy where you're at?
Where are you going?
Hopefully to bed, so.
We're gonna go to the other Ringling brothers' house tomorrow.
It is interesting though, with all the history of all the Ringling brothers and family members.
Get
Ooh. A little bit of negativity.
It's like every single time you do these investigations, the main people from these houses don't seem to come through.
Yeah.
Even going back and looking at like S.K. Pierce, we weren't talking to him, we were talking to the person that was victimized.
Right.
It's never like, it seems like those happy people legitimately move on to some sort of other place.
Yeah,
Right.
true.
All the spirits we talk to are the ones that had something
trauma.
Right. Very true.
Like none of anything tonight, it seemed like was Al Ringling.
Yeah.
Ringling again, so that twice and did that again.
Yeah.
Before.
It's weird. It's always like traumatized spirits, energies that were victimized, or bad people or non-human negativity.
Right.
It's weird because I'm sitting here. I'm like, I would have loved to have a conversation with the Ringling brothers.
Right.
Yeah.
But
so good.
all of our actual evidence pointed to this.
Right.
Even without the power of like suggestion.
Oh,
No.
for sure.
Well, we're here to really make contact with the Ringling brothers.
It's weird.
You know, that you really.
You can.
Are the Ringling brothers even here, or did they move on? Are they just kind of echoes of the past? Maybe just a reflection of what happened, like a glance in a mirror.
Not sure.
But why are you here, Jenny? Are you still looking for your baby? Your son?
Never give up.
What's your last name?
Be gone.
It's cold over here. Almost done. Is there any way we can help reunite you with your child?
Listen.
Yeah, that's sad. Like, what happens if a mother dies
Thank you.
and their kid survives, and the kid obviously moves out of the house and goes somewhere else and lives a whole life and dies, and then the mom is constantly just stuck here looking for their kid. I don't know how the afterlife works at all.
Right.
But it's like, what if that actually does trap, even if it doesn't trap like a whole soul, what if it traps a part of that energy?
Because you would think that it'd be nice if she could have moved on wherever the baby went, but who knows?
Is there anything you want to tell us, or want us to know anything specifically that's on your mind?
Take care. Bienvenidos. That's life.
Are you going to stay here in the house? Or are you going to move on at some point? I think you're going to stay around.
That was two.
Do you have anything you want to tell us?
You didn't let me down.
Oh, good. Is there anything we can do for you while we're here?
Maybe that was Al Ringling. Al Ringling did water down. Detective.
Al Wrigley?
Ringling.
You just said Al Wrigley again.
Seriously?
Dude,
Why
you
you
really
said
need to
it
stop
wrong?
messing
You
up
said
that name.
Al Wrigley? Wrigley?
Ringling? It's like Ringling.
Stand up.
Damn it. Think of the Wrigley brothers.
Wrigley?
Wrigley gum.
What are Wrigley brothers? Alright, let's ask a couple more.
Okay.
Thank you, Jenny.
Don't want to forget
Thank you,
the
Jenny.
one.
Probably your son.
Mm-hmm. Well, Jenny, thank you for speaking with us tonight. We've heard from people that they've seen the spirit of a young boy around here somewhere.
You care about.
We do care.
Yeah.
But there is, according to people that are here in our world, there is a young boy's spirit who has been seen in this area. So I don't know if you just have missed him or what you have to do to find him, but if that's your son or his energy, it is here. Did you know that?
Yeah.
It's weird to think. So
Good job.
like when you're doing an Estes like this, broad just questions of paranormal, like is she like standing right there? Or like is her energy all around us?
Mm-hmm.
Or is she floating? Or is it just a concept that we can't even understand as humans?
It's
I'm not even totally sure on that. It does
Because I'm
seem
just
to be a little
thinking,
vague once in a while.
sometimes it feels weird like you're talking to Connor, but it's like, should I imagine her like sitting staring at us right now?
True.
I run away.
Because you're getting a lot of intelligent responses.
Yeah.
Isn't she just using Connor kind of as a conduit? I mean, like, just.
But where?
But I mean, yeah, I mean, like, is she like, does she have a form? Or is it just
Careful.
like energy?
Yeah.
So, life question.
I think it's got to be a spirit in Connor. Join up with Connor to let him feel or understand these things.
Go and find it.
Oh my God. Look at this face. Jeez.
Well, when he goes joining up with Connor and then let me feel, it's like, oh no, what's he gonna say?
No, it's in Connor.
I get some unique perspectives.
Strange.
You want to tap him out?
Let's see if he shows.
Jenny, thank you for speaking with us.
Oh my God, I feel out of it.
That was
We all do.
wow.
Yeah.
Lots of good
Good?
responses.
Really good
Really
responses.
good. Yep. It was so loud we could really hear.
It was
It here. And you
Pretty-
think you've got the hat,
pretty decent
the
reply.
hat on, and
It was very loud in my ears.
He really hurt.
wow.
Her name's
It still can.
her name's Jenny.
I remember saying Jenny.
Yeah. And we think maybe the Ringling brothers helped her, or the Ringling family more so helped her with her situation.
A little bit better.
Like she
Yeah.
was molested by her father, and the Ringling family helped her through that, and then tragically she died.
Well, that's sweet.
Yeah.
Makes me feel a little bit better about the night.
I'm really tired.
Me too.
All right.
I'm overtired.
Is everybody here
yeah.
tired? I could use a nap too. I think I already took one a little bit there for a moment.
Joe Colosa again. We're at the Walnut Hill Cemetery, and we're stopping by here at Henry Ringling's mausoleum to pay our respects to the Ringling family. So pop in and say hello and talk about a little history.
Not every day you get to see the inside of a mausoleum.
Oh, this is so cool.
All right, man. So
Al Ringling, when Al passed away, his sister Ida moved into the Ringling mansion with her husband Harry, and they had 3 children, Henry, John, and Mary Salome. And Harry was a bit older than Ida, and he had a daughter from a previous marriage or relationship. Her name was Lila North Wilcox, and sadly, while giving birth at the mansion, she passed away in 1919. So, and then her son, who she was giving birth to, is buried here right next to her.
So last night we were getting a lot of stuff about someone who died giving birth. What was the name that we got? It was like a Jenny or something like that was the name that came through.
But at least you picked up with somebody passing away giving birth.
Yeah, which is crazy. But that stuff makes sense to you?
Yeah. Well, not the name, but you know, her passing away there, giving birth. Yes, that's what happened there. So,
and she was
very sad.
She was a member of the family.
Correct. Yeah.
It's so interesting.
Yeah, very sad.
Do you think there ever would have been any of the servants who died, maybe like while they were sick or anything like that?
Very possible. Yeah. I mean, we would have to study the old newspaper records and stuff to see if we could zero in on something. But I mean, it's a long history there, so who knows?
Because that's what we got too, like a servant who was like really treated well by the family, but died from like it kept saying sick.
Oh,
like painful sick.
Okay. Well, yeah, the Ringlings were well known for being very good to their servants, being very good to their employees with the circus and so on. And one of their servants, John Ringling's chauffeur, he might have been his valet too, wrote a book called Born to Be. And the whole book is about this gentleman's life, but there's a chapter about the Ringlings, and he talks about how kind they were. And he even, did some service for Al and Lou Ringling too, and talked about them a little. So,
really?
Yeah, they were all very good people.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So
we came to the conclusion.
Yeah.
When we were talking at the end, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the Ringling are good people, and they were helping these people.
Good people. Yeah, John Ringling, even on the circus lot, was known to have a roll of money in his pocket, and he would give extra money to the employees and the workers just so they had some extra money. So he was known to be pretty good person. So
is there anything else that we got that was interesting that we could ask about?
We got Marie.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, I can't make a connection with that. Well, there's Mary Salome, also, the reverse, which was Henry and John's sister, Ida's daughter.
Yeah, that's what we were trying to decipher between the two.
Yeah, it might have been Mary, and it may not be coming through correct. Right. Yeah, so.
Plus, there's just so
one of the possibilities.
Yeah. Yeah, we've had other paranormal investigators get Otto. Like Otto Ringling came through as Otto, which is a very unusual name. So.
And like you said, the Elks was there, so I mean.
Yep, you could.
Who knows?
Got the Elk members. Yep. It's got a long history. I mean, the Elks were there longer than the Ringlings. So.
It's crazy to think about.
Yeah.
And William.
Almost 80 years.
Well, we got William. Was buried over the foundation where he was born. And he was laid in that room.
That's right. Yeah. So the Ringlings owned that property since the 1850s. It was like the first property they bought. It was a little farmhouse there. Otto was the only brother born in Baraboo. He was born in that house on that property. And then when he passed away at John Ringling's apartment in New York City, they brought him back to Baraboo, and they had his wake in the library where the house used to be. So
And we got Barn.
Yeah.
Right there too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
We got a lot of. I mean, you have to go back and go through.
Well, and I'm sure you got EVPs to check. And
we did.
Yeah.
We got Ringling. Yeah. It sounded like on one of the EVPs. That's crazy.
Awesome.
Forgot about that.
And then how about the camera? Did you pick up any energy on the camera? Your new camera?
We did.
Okay, good. You got stick figures?
Oh yeah.
Good.
We got them actually on the grate.
Okay.
And we got them in in the corner where the vest is at.
Okay. I told you, always in that corner. Yeah.
That's why I focused there.
Yeah.
Is there any significance to that vest? Because it almost seemed like it was spelling out vest.
It belonged to Henry Ringling. That's all I know. He was like the stockiest brother, the most stout brother, and that was his vest. And goes back to the 1800s. It's tailor-made. That's all I know about it. I have it from the family. So
we're at the Walnut Hill Cemetery right now here in Baraboo, As you just saw in that clip, we were talking about Lila, who passed away inside of the mansion while giving birth, which is such a strange connection that we didn't know about, that kind of just came through our investigation. And we brought these flowers for Lila and her son, and really for all of the Ringlings. The Ringling mausoleum's right there. There are more family members buried right there, so these flowers are really for everybody. But as he knows, there are a lot of members in the family, so you'd have to get like a lot of bouquets.
Big family, yeah.
But
they're all listening, so it's all good.
I'm gonna leave these flowers for you, Lila. Thank you so much for talking to us. Robert, if you're here, and to any of the Ringling family members, thank you for having us in your house and for speaking with us last night. We're incredibly thankful for that. It's for Robert.
I'm gonna lay this down on Lila also. Thanks for speaking with us last night, and thanks for welcoming us into your home. It was amazing. A wonderful family.
This is for the whole Ringling family. You left a great mark on this world, and we really appreciate you and letting us into your house last night and talking to us. We had a really good time.
Yeah, and really, like everybody else, thank you for letting us in your home, welcoming us. I'm having a hard time talking in this cold. Yeah, especially Lila.
I had a hard time talking last night, too.
Your son, Robert. I hope you're resting in peace. And as well as to all the Ringling family.
You know, it's cold as hell out here, but the sunset's beautiful.
Oh,
yeah. I was gonna say my smile is like earlier was getting frozen with cold.
I thought that was just because you're so happy.
Yeah.
A nice little video. Nice to have something that isn't making them constantly jump and scream. Alright, so that's going to be our paranormal video for this week. I hope you all enjoyed it. Again, I'm sorry if you happen to notice I do believe I nodded off for a moment there. A moment or two. Kind of just got real slow and we weren't getting many good responses, to be fair. And then things started to cook again. So, glad I nodded back in. But that's it for tonight. Hope you all enjoyed. Thank you all again for watching. And I will see you all again next time. Please check out the links down below for both the original video without my commentary and without me nodding off in a corner and doing pauses, etc. Also check out the links down below for the socials, the other channel, and if you so desire, a little bit of merch so you can get some real-time lich hours. But that's it for tonight. Again, thank you for watching, and I will see you all next week. Pleasant dreams.